I want to show you two new features of Hamina Network Planner, which I absolutely love. And the first of those two features is the AI wall drawing. We access this feature by going to the wall drawing tool and selecting it from the toolbar. And you'll see that Hamina says it's auto-detected the walls. And the auto-detected walls are highlighted in grey on my floor plan. So I'm going to go ahead and accept the auto-drawn walls. And let's take a look at how Hamina is done. And you'll notice it's done an excellent job. It's even accurately detected all the doors. But I want to ensure that we have the correct attenuation values assigned to these walls and doors. And if we look in the wall materials, you'll see there's an auto-detected door material and an auto-detected wall material. Now, my internal walls in this building are very heavy drywalls, and they actually have soundproofing in between the wall. So we measured them as having a 6 dB loss. So if I select my auto-detected walls and click to modify the material, you'll see the default value in Hamina is 5, but I actually want to make that 6. And I can even change the wall material type too. So I'm going to click save to make sure all my auto-detected walls now have a 6 dB loss. And what about the doors? Well, I've got wooden doors with a 4 dB loss, and you'll see that's actually the defaults in Hamina. So I don't need to change that. The one thing I'm going to change is the colour of my doors. I'm going to make them brown, and it will just help me to distinguish them from the auto-detected walls a bit better. So I'm going to click save, and now look at that in 3D. I now have my walls and internal doors modelled correctly with the right attenuation values. But not all the walls here are internal walls. We have some external walls around the outside of the building and also around the courtyard. And these walls are actually brick. So I'd like to change them to the brick wall material. And to do that, I'm going to show you the other feature of Hamina I really like, and that is the selection capabilities. So let's go to the Edit tool, and we're going to look at how we select objects by clicking and dragging. Now inside Hamina, if I click and drag from the left and drag to the right, Hamina will select all objects which fall completely within my selection area. So that's the blue area you can see on the screen. So walls which start and end within that blue area will be selected. If I click and drag from the right to the left, then any walls which are contained within that blue area will be selected. So this will select all objects which even part of the object is contained within the blue area. And if I go from the left to right, it's only objects which are fully contained within the selection area. So I'm going to use this selection features, and I'm going to mainly be going left to right to just select the exterior walls of this building. So let's take a look at doing that. So I'm going to start by just trying to select the outdoor walls, and when I've selected them, I'm going to click brick. I'm going to do that again for the ones on this side of the building, and I can just hit the B shortcut for brick and turn them all into brick. I'm going to select the walls along the bottom here, hit B, I've made them brick. And we're going to do the same with some of the walls on the edges of my building here. There we go, brick and brick. And then I've got just the little slightly tricky area to do here, but again, and hit brick, and I've made my outside walls brick. I can do a similar thing with the courtyard as well. I'm just going to zoom in a bit so I get my selection criteria right. Let's make that brick, I've got a little conservatory here, so I'm going to make that glass, and I can select some more brick down here. So you'll notice by being able to just select the outdoor walls, I can quite quickly come down here and make my selection criteria relatively quickly and just select the outdoor walls, making them brick. Got a few more there to do as well. But now I have set my exterior walls on this building to brick. So I've got my interior walls set to the wall material I've set, and I've got my external walls set to brick. One of the problems with this is obviously there might be doors and windows in these brick walls, which I've now made brick. So we may want to change that. Now, we might not be bothered about the exterior walls of the building because we're not really bothered about how the area looks outside the building, but we would be bothered in the courtyard area. So what can we do about that? Well, we can see where the doors were, and all I've done is change all the doors, which were doors originally, to brick. But I can change those back very quickly by just holding down Command on my keyboard and clicking on all the doors, which I've changed to brick. And I'm just going to select all the doors in this courtyard area. One more. And then I'm coming in back in here and change them back to auto detect doors. And then the only other wall material I may want to change is there's actually windows in these walls. So I'm going to come back to the wall drawing tool, and I'm going to select windows, but these will be the only walls I actually have to draw in. And now I can come in here and I can go around its plan and draw in all my windows, and all I'm having to do is draw my windows instead of all the other wall types. So let me just quickly go around and draw in all these windows. And just drawing in the last window now, and now you can see we have got our building perfectly modelled with all our doors, windows, interior walls and exterior walls ready to start designing our Wi-Fi. So if I just come in here and pick an access point, I'm going to pick a Juniper AP, and I'll pick the new AP47, and I can put this in our building, and I can start looking at how it attenuates around a building which I've drawn accurately. Hopefully you're going to also find these features as useful as I do. If you've enjoyed this video and want to become a Hamina expert, why not book yourself on the Hamina Certified Network Architect class? You can see the current course schedule at mqts.co.uk/Hamina-training. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.